This is a tech stock, Cree. I think they do diodes, something like that. This one gapped down from, where was it? It gapped down from 49s or so to about 45s, and it was sitting on this area here. This balance beam here over about 46s, it could start to fill through this air pocket here, and then over that level, then it could obviously recover the gap down, and then maybe present a retrace of the sell impulse here. But I was really looking for this dominant one-to-one move down as a continuation, and seeing that the bears wouldn't let price back over this last key dominator here. Very heavy commitment, that blue spike. This red area indicates the big air pocket. Below this floor here, things really open up and take you down into the 33 to 30 camp. I'm also using the ratios of these moves as well as some Fibonacci confluence with those numbers to look for key price points here. So that's the setup that I had at the time I looked at this August 3rd. There it is today. Here's the air pocket. There's the dominator here holding as resistance, and here's the grand one-to-one. So at the time I did this chart, price was at 45.28, and it was literally sitting right on the spike here. So I could look for price to move lower for further strength, or I could go in at market there. But what I do when I see something like this where it's so close to or almost nested within this balance beam here, I want to see it break down a little bit more, like a favorable excursion style move in favor to get short here, and then off you go. Again, options out of the money, strikes in this zone here obviously nailed. So the predictive analysis aspect of using the balance beam is one that is attractive as well. You don't have to go there, but it's a natural tendency for a lot of people that gravitate towards this style of trading. This is what I use for all my higher time frame stuff, position trading, the S&P, gold, and that's sort of a crash course as to why. So for those of you that are new balance beam traders, there's a manual on the site. There are some supportive videos there. There are some Friday training sessions, not as many, where I go through some of this stuff as well. You've got to do some homework and build a bit of a library of setups. So you can scroll through whatever it might be. You could look at oil futures. You could look at the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P futures, gold for sure, even the mini Russell, and then whatever stocks you want to look at, and come up with setups. If you have something that looks close to being set up, you can then set a price alert, and you'll know when that has been triggered, and then off you go. But part of the belief building process here, it's not as immediate. You know, some of these things have to come to fruition, and for something like this, it's a bit much to say, wow, we're going to go all the way down there. What are you, crazy? Apple uses these components in their iPhone. Did you hear what's happening with the iPhone? You're talking about this thing going down to 30. It's at 45. Well, yeah, there it is. 30 from 45. If price stays below this level here, it's very likely to fill through this air pocket. There's a higher confluence at 30 than there is at this confluence area of the square root of 2 and the 786. So yeah, there's the one-to-one at the 1.618. That's a holy grail confluence there of ratios coming together, harmonics and ratios, balance beams combined there. That's the setup. Now this didn't happen overnight, but I did the work a while ago, so I'm on alert for this thing to break down, and there's the nice follow through. So you can do the same thing. You can pick an arsenal of stocks, Apple, Facebook, whatever it might be, and just simply stay on top of the new developments there. It takes a little bit of work to do that, but the payoff is huge. And as you get to be better at this, your process will go much quicker. Everything always takes longer in the beginning when you learn it, but it will absolutely go quicker as you spend more time with it. Here's this work that I've been doing in the euro ongoing. Initially, where I was with this is I was looking for breakouts over 13/8, and had two of them move in favor. Then as it started to break down, I was looking for a much bigger breakdown, and these were targets 1 and 2 way back. Starts to break down more here, fills through this air pocket, and these were all scripted a long time ago. So this very last sequence, this is I think the third batch of downside targets that I put out, because I can only put 3 in at a time here. I mean, you can see just this target right here at 12,557 here, that had a pretty big resonance with a spike up there. And you can see that when we broke below the floor here, even though we went down this much, look at how much we accelerated further. Here's an earlier version there when at one point I was looking to be long here, and that actually went in favor to target 2, but then breaking down set up the short, and it hit the 3 targets that I had, put in a pretty good bounce at the third target, and then as it rolled over, it set up a whole new trip down to this price point here at 13,375s. At the time I did this video, we were sitting on this balance beam, so I'm looking for strength in either direction. Would we move up? If we are, we're going through this air pocket. Where are we likely to go? If we break down 32.85s initial, and then follow through air pocket, 31.35s is the top line, 30.70 is the spike, 29.50 is the floor. We stalled out at 31.35. We came all the way down and nailed 29.50. We bounced off the floor, and then the follow through gave an opportunity for these guys here. So day in the life there for the balance beam.